Hi, good morning, and thank you so much for being here. So, last week we were talking about who an entrepreneur is, the advantages and disadvantages of being an entrepreneur. Today, I want us to begin the series on the different types of entrepreneurs. Like I say, my niche remains Cameroon, and why not Africa as a whole? So today we'll look at the first kind of entrepreneur, who is the traditional entrepreneur. Now, when I talk about the traditional entrepreneur, what comes to mind? Just like the word traditional, it's something that has been passed down in generations from the old, and we still have them existing today. It's like something that helps the community to move, and something that makes everybody feel like, well, if it's not a job, maybe I can do this one and it's gonna work. Yes, so it is actually what is mostly practiced in Cameroon. Traditional entrepreneurship is what is mostly practiced in Cameroon. And that's because anybody can get into it anytime. So, who is a traditional entrepreneur? A traditional entrepreneur is someone that may have admired an activity and told herself, well, I want to do this activity, and maybe I have a little bit of contributions to make a little bit of changes. Or I can take this activity from here and implant it here to get the same results, or why not more? So the person who decides to go and learn how to make nails, put lashes, is a traditional entrepreneur. So when you go learn that, you want to take it somewhere else and start doing it by yourself. The mechanic who goes to learn from a patron so that he can in turn open his own garage somewhere else is a traditional entrepreneur. The hairdresser who goes to learn from her madam, or the person who tends to teach her in such a way that she can own her own beauty salon, is a traditional entrepreneur. The person who has left school and has not gotten a job, and then maybe is looking for money to own a shop, to import from Nigeria, China, Turkey, whether in Marché Central, whether in another market, in Douala, Yaoundé, Kumba, wherever, you are a traditional entrepreneur. So you are that person that is willing to take the risk because you've seen somebody do it and you feel like that person is succeeding. Or you feel like, okay, I have this money, I feel like I should invest this money and start making money for myself. Traditional entrepreneurs, it's a good thing, They are very optimistic in most cases. Like when they start, they are very excited. When they have the money, sometimes they don't even try to overthink things. They feel like, okay, I can just start, and then as time goes on, I would do this, do that. But as time goes on, they usually give up very easily. For example, if you had 10 million francs, you wanted to start a business of importations, maybe from Nigeria, China, or Turkey. You take the 10 million francs, you go rent a shop, you beautify the shop, you go buy goods, put inside the shop. Most traditional entrepreneurs usually get very discouraged when they don't get the result that they had initially thought they would have. And that makes them to start having a lot of pullback because they are struggling to copy or do something that has existed. It's not like it's an idea that came from them. It's just something that they felt like, oh, I think I can do this one because I've seen somebody doing it. So if you are a traditional entrepreneur, you have to be very optimistic. You have to be very determined. Even if it's not working, you have to tell yourself, I have to look for a means for it to work. And that is why you see most traditional entrepreneurs close down that activity if it doesn't work because they overestimated the returns on the business and therefore misused their initial funds. And if there's no further fundings, they find out that that business can no longer continue. So if you are a traditional entrepreneur, of course, if you're somebody who is struggling to launch into an activity that you've seen somebody already doing, you have to be very careful. Come up with a business plan. You have to ask a lot of questions. You should not just imagine things in your head and feel like you have an idea of how it works. Even when you are learning from your boss, you should ask a lot of questions. Be very careful when you're choosing the location of your business. You should find out it's not because that business is not there that makes you to come and implant that business. Struggle to understand the mentality of the people. Will people choose to leave your shop, which is close by to them, to go to the market, or because they feel like they want to gain 500 francs? Now, if you want to invest in that business, ask yourself, what am I going to do which is going to be different from what everybody is doing? Even if I'm putting this business here, am I sure I have everything it takes? If this thing does not work, how am I going to make sure that I still survive as an entrepreneur? With that in mind, we're going to continue tomorrow, and thank you so much for being part of my videos. Please, if you like what I'm talking about, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the video. Thank you so much, and see you next time.